Okay, just before I do the presentation, I'll just do another introduction. I'm David, I'm from Tel Aviv University International. We work with all of the English top programs here at TAU. I'm delighted to be hosting this graduate program webinar, and also delighted to have Professor Eviatar Matania, the head of the program, here with us. We're also joined by Nomi, the program coordinator, who I think some of you may know. And also we have Aaron, a current student, and you'll be able to listen to Aaron give his perspective of the program shortly. So to begin with, I'm just going to do a presentation. It's literally a couple of minutes, just to give you a feel of Tel Aviv University and what waits for you here if you do decide to join us. So let me just share my screen. Okay. Can you all see the presentation okay? Wonderful. So yes, welcome to the webinar. This is sort of just a top-down look at Tel Aviv University and what awaits for you here. We are the #1 institution of choice for Israeli citizens. We are the largest institute of higher education in Israel. We have 30,000 total students. And of those, 2,000 are international. So when you come to us, you really do get the best of both worlds, because you also have Israelis in your class and international students as well. So you do get the best of both worlds. Like I say, we're the biggest in Israel. We have 9 faculties, 125 schools and departments. We have students here from over 100 countries. We're one of the top 100 innovation universities as ranked by Reuters. We're ranked number 8 for the top schools of producing VC-backed founders. So we're very proud of our academic excellence here at TAU. Just a couple of leading alumni. I won't go into details of all of them.
David, are you with us? No, you are now in mute. You're muted.
Can you hear me?
David, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm sorry, the internet connection is a bit funny and it kicked me off, so I do apologize. Let me go back into the PowerPoint. So yes, you'll join an illustrious alumni here. Here's just a couple of leading alumni that we have. Professor Amnon Shashua, who was the president of Mobileye. We have Yotam Ottolenghi, who is a fantastic chef with amazing restaurants all over London. Dr. Danny Gold, who invented the Iron Dome, that wonderful piece of technology that keeps us all safe. And then Uri Levine, who was the Waze founder. I don't think anybody goes anywhere in Israel without using Waze. So you will join an illustrious group of alumni. We also are very close to the industry as well. I won't go into much detail, but here's just sort of a snapshot of the connections and the work that we do with industry, whether it's through the Entrepreneurship Center, the staffed by professionals, TAU Ventures, and also we have the annual Cyber Week and the Artificial Intelligence Week that were online. Hi guys, I'm really sorry. The Wi-Fi is.
Improve your yes.
What I'll do is I'll wrap it up very quickly. I do apologize. Lastly, I just wanted to mention about Student Life. Our Student Life are a team of madrachim that are on campus and living in the dorms. And throughout the past year, they've also done a lot of activities and events online with our students here in Israel and also students abroad, whether it's social events online, pizza events, singing contests, politics discussions. They're very much, when you join TAU, they kind of take you into their circle. So they're a great asset to us. There is accommodation if you do plan to come to TAU. We've got on-campus dormitories literally adjacent to campus. I just want to end with, in addition to not just this program, we also have 60 plus programs in total. We have 15 plus master's programs, and we're just adding another one new master's program for next year as well. So we do have, quite a selection for you to choose from. So that is me. Thank you very much. And I do apologize for the Wi-Fi cut out. But I will now pass over to Professor Matania.
Yes. Thank you. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Very good. So welcome to this webinar. My name is Eviatar Matania. I am a professor at the School of Political Sciences, Government and International Affairs at Tel Aviv University. And I'm heading two programs, two MA programs. One is the MA program in Cyber Politics and Government, the program that I'm going to talk about now. And the second one is the MA in Security Studies. I am also an adjunct professor in Oxford University in the Blavatnik School of Government, where I'm heading the cyber model. And until 3 years ago, I was the founding head and director general of the Israel National Cyber Directorate. What I will going to present to you now is some brief and introduction about the CPG program. And I will start with the saying something about the Industrial Revolution, and to argue and to explain that the rationale that underlies the CPG program is that we live in an era which is a post-industrial era, a more technology-oriented era, which influences our economy, society, national security, and they are all in a evolutionized shift. And this is something that we believe that since it's so important to humanity, it is something that people should understand. We need people, more people to understand this era, to know how to manage in this era, and to know how to lead the organizations, whether governments or private organizations, into the future. If we look back into the industrial age, we may see that it started all with the steam engine, but influences all our life. For example, there was economical growth, less people needed to produce food, a new economy and new professions were created. The whole urbanization process was due to the industrial revolution, since the more people concentrated in specific cities and where factories were established. And but this fact that people concentrated in cities, this led to the creation of new classes, the middle class, and not just the middle class, but also the proletariat, and to new ideologies, new revolutions that followed. All these followed the steam engine, which caused the establishment of factories and in the cities, to urbanization, the new classes, and then new ideologies such as socialism, communism, and revolution. Telecommunication and media coverage shifted the world to be much smaller. The public service was created only due to the industrial age. Rise of new players, nation state, the imperialism, capital, the invention of capital, not just those who were rich, were not those who had land, but also those who had the resources, the energy, or the factories. It was a real change in GDP and change in the nature of war. Everything followed the industrial revolution, the steam engine. And the same as happened with the industrial revolution, we needed to analyze the cyber change, to understand the cyber change, and this underlies what we are trying to teach in the CPG program. And just to give you just a little background about what do I mean with talking about the cyber era or the cyber phenomenon, we are moving from digital to cyber. The computers change everything, but they started only as a platform. During the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, the computers were the platform that changed everything that you know about IT, companies, government. But during the 90s, 80s and 90s, we started to talk about the digital agenda and going online to the internet. But while if we may see the difference between the 90s and the new and what happened after 2000 is that the digital agenda shifted into a cyber era because everything was now connected to everything, and we may talk about a new phenomenon, a new domain, and we define the cyber phenomenon as the combination of one, the almost total connectivity of computers, telecommunication networks with internet connectivity in its base and to almost every human and corner in the world. It didn't happen during the 90s, it happened after that. The second issue is the computer's processing capacity that enables us to transform huge amounts of data, the reduction in price of memory processing units, and the capability to store and analyze. The combination of total connectivity, the reduction in price, and the capacity of computers led to the creation of a new domain, cyberspace. And not just a new domain, but a new phenomenon. Phenomenon that changed everything. And it was not the computers, it was not just the internet, which is the heart of this, the core of this cyberspace, but the combination of all these three, we changed everything and led us to the new phenomenon, to the new era, the cyber era. And this is just to show you why we are talking about what happened after 2000, because currently you have more than half of the population in the world that are connected into the internet. It was not during the 90s, even not in 2000. This is what we talk about when we say about total connectivity of every human being, of any machine, of everything from any corner on earth. Your air conditions, your cars, your mobiles, and yourself, everything is now connected. This is cyberspace, this is in the heart of the new phenomenon. And this is example when we talk about, David, you just mentioned the ways and oil of Venus. This is an example of cyber, why we are talking about cyber, not digital, because to take maps from paper into computer, this was digital agenda. This is a new technology. We do not need to show you maps on papers. We may use computers, for example, and then we can see different layers, geography. We can, the resolution is much better. We can use it everywhere. But this is to take maps from paper into computer. This is digital agenda. Even to use GPS, this is still digital agenda, and to route you and to explain to you how to go from one point to another. What Waze brought is a cyber thinking, cyber thought about this, saying it's not just the ability to take maps into computer, it's not the ability to tell you where to go through the GPS connection. It's the ability to know every one of you, where you go to, where you are currently driving, to connect all of this and to have new wisdom that we cannot find in each and every corner, in each and every mobile. You alone cannot do anything, but together, if we have all the connectivity of all the drivers, we have new knowledge about how to take you in optimally from point A to point B. This is the total connectivity online of you all to one point, which can then generate the picture and to have wisdom that we cannot find in the endpoints, but just in the center of everything. This is a cyber phenomenon. Waze is a cyber company, not just Waze. Netflix is also a cyber company. Instead of, Netflix understood that their assets were not the movie that they had, but the total online 24/7 connectivity into their customers, understanding where they watch, how they watch, what they prefer, everything that they want, we now understand 24/7, and we can give you the best movies. We can take $100 million and to produce the House of Cards because we know that there will be enough people to watch it, what we couldn't do before that. Netflix became a cyber company. And of course, the huge Amazon is a cyber company. It started, people didn't understand when it started in the 90s, people thought, oh, this is a bookstore online. And Barnes & Noble, by the way, saw the same. We have a competitor, a bookstore, an online bookstore. That's what people thought about Amazon. I still remember one of the internet entrepreneurs telling me during the second half of the 90s, think about it, what they invented. You know what you can sell through the internet. You cannot sell, for example, food or clothes or things like that. Books, this is something you can sell through the internet. He didn't understand. It started as a bookstore. It continued as we can sell everything online. They change the economy. They change everything that you know about shopping. And you know, through the Corona crisis, we all understood that we can take almost everything to be online. There is a new domain of human activity. Amazon is a cyber company. The connectivity to everyone to understand what we need, what we want, how we want it, new services that didn't exist before that. This is an example again of the new economy. But it's not just economy. Hackers too. The cyber changed everything. From information security of computers, we understand that now that there is a cyber threat, not just locally to organizations, but also a threat to nation states and a global threat to our civilization. So the same as the Industrial Revolution brought us the Second World War, which was I think the edge of the industrialization of war. The cyber phenomenon and cyberspace bring us a new economy, new society, but also a new threat, and they are changing national security. And this is, just to sum up, this is the value pyramid from the Industrial Revolution to the cyber era. The basis of everything during the Industrial Revolution was a fuel. Fuel was generated energy, and energy that generated products and services, and the infrastructure was transportation, finance, communication. We are now in a big shift to the cyber era, where the fuel of this era is data. The energy is the information, and they all produce new knowledge. And now we need not just engineers, but also algorithms and people who know to write algorithms. And our infrastructures are the internet, storage, computing capacity, and we need people to understand this shift. This is what CPG program is all about. Understanding the big shift in history, understanding the post-industrial revolution, the new era of cyberspace, cyber phenomenon, the changing in the value in the pyramid of value. To understand all this, to understand the new economy of big data, the evolution of cyber threat, how cyber changed politics, how it changed the way governments work with people, to understand legal issues of the cyber, to understand how to build ecosystems around cyber, to talk about the great power competition around cyber, to understand the international system of cyber. What we want to do is to develop your understanding in this era to be leaders of in understanding, researching, and leading your organizations into the new cyber era in all its aspects. And with this, I conclude for now until questions. So, Naomi and Ryan, back to you.
Thank you very much. That was great, Professor Matania. Very, very informative. And I liked the story about Amazon. That was really good. So thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, you're welcome just to pop them into the chat function. I'll read them out to if it's admissions related to Naomi, or if it's something else, Professor Matania can answer. So I'll hand over to Naomi, who'll just talk a little bit about the admissions process. We've also got.
Okay, hi everyone.
Hi.
So if you have any questions about admissions, tuition, how to apply, what the criteria is, feel free to write to me or call me. My email address is on the website. And Aaron, would you like to speak a little bit about the program?
So, sorry, my name's Aaron, and I'm originally from Sydney, Australia. My background is I'm a lawyer. I do not have a technical background. I chose the program because I was interested in politics and government from a cyber and technological perspective. It is a new and emerging area where which affects society on all levels, government, corporation, and the individual. And these developments, these cyber and technological developments, have resulted in many challenges. And so this program really does talk about these challenges, and it has been fantastic. I'm currently in my second semester, and just was thinking back about the first semester, and I'm currently in my second semester. Something that's very interesting is what I've learned in the first semester, all these different ideas, different topics, very new topics, have all come together very well. And I'm finding that it's created a very good foundation for the second semester, and especially also going on in the news. A lot is going on in the news, and because I've got now this educational background, it really does provide a more thorough understanding, and it is also very exciting so far what I've been learning. I just wanted to mention a few strengths about the program. As I alluded to previously, it's an innovative program. I think it could be the only program in the world from a social sciences perspective. There could be others, but I haven't heard. And again, these issues that are being discussed in the program are more prominent in societies, and we're hearing more about it. And people and companies, governments, organizations will have people that have the skills and understanding to deal with these issues. So also the leaders, the lecturers are also very prominent people within the cyber community. I was just interested I was looking at a newspaper online, and wow, one of my professors wrote the article. So these are people that know the system, understand the system, and it's great to have first-hand knowledge. And yeah, the program is good if you want to go into policymaking from corporate perspective, or if you want to pursue academia, I really recommend it. And also, I've got to just say that there's been a lot of support from both lecturers and administration on the course. All lecturers, they give you their phone number, their emails. They want you to ask questions. They want to make sure that you understand the materials, and they want you to be successful. And they're here to help you and guide you. And yeah, overall, it's a great program, and I highly recommend that you consider it. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Aaron. It was great to have a current student here. I don't think it's just great to get students' perspective of the program. So thank you very much for that. A couple of questions have come in on the chat from Sean. He has asked two questions. Number one, what are career prospects following the course? And two, how many times a week are there lectures? I don't know if you want to pick that one up, Naomi, or?
I will start.
No. Okay.
The program is, I have to emphasize first that the program is more a general program, meaning it's not something to give you, now you can work as a lawyer, for example. This is something to develop, develop skills, develop knowledge, and to put you in a better place whenever you are, whether you are in a government or in private organization, as a product manager, as a general manager, wherever you are. This is the scope and the objective of the program. And the second thing which I would like to emphasize in this following this question is that it's not a technological program. We have some technological courses, but for non-technologists, meaning those who are searching for computer sciences, advanced computer sciences, data science, and things like that. We are not talking about these. These are all in the hands of engineering faculty and computer sciences school. We talk about, for example, we have a seminar about AI uses in cyber, but this is for non-technology. This is to understand the whole AI issue and technology. We have the big data course, but for non-technologies. This is something which is very important to emphasize. And we usually study, but this is we can add twice a week, during Tuesday afternoon and Friday. And these are the major, and we have one course which I lead, which is 5 days over the year, further to this Tuesday and Fridays. And students also are requested to take 6 more credits, which sometimes they can take outside the area of Tuesday and Fridays. Am I right, Nomi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions from anybody? You're welcome just to pop them onto the chat. There was one that was sent in beforehand from Eddie. I don't think Eddie's here. He was asking about demographics, diversity and demographics in the program and university. And I think during my presentation at the beginning, I briefly mentioned the split between international students and Israeli students and a number of countries represented. But I don't know, Nomi, if you have any insights into the demographic makeup of this current year's cohort, if you have that.
I mean, this year we have mostly Israelis because of the pandemic, but next year we're hoping to have 50-50% of internationals and Israelis. So we have applicants from all over the world for now. We don't yet know like where exactly the students are going to come from.
I think that's also one of the benefits is international students can also tap into the Israeli side of it, because Israel itself is the high-tech center. It's a leading cyber research area, so you're kind of tapping into that knowledge base as well, which is a benefit. Cool.
Before we complete, I would also like to emphasize, David, that the program is a one-year program, 3 semesters. A winter semester, a spring semester, and then one summer semester, and a final exam in the beginning of September, meaning it's 1 year and 1 year program.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there's a question coming from Sam. Thank you, Sam. He said, in line with Sean's question, are there any skill sets and or prerequisites that someone interested in this course should start to study more? Would there be any focus in the group that would discuss how different parts of the world need to approach cyber governance?
If I correctly understand the question, there are not mandatory pre-requirements. But what we need is people that know how to study. Because in 1 year, we study a lot, 36 credits, and there are some, assignments to write, seminariums, simulations to that we have in class. and people participate in. So we need people who know how to study. That's why this is a graduate program. We need undergraduates that know how to study. In 1 year, a lot of new issues that come from economy, political sciences, technology, non-technologies, to write a lot, this is something which we need people to know how to study. No non-pre-requirements of specific profession are needed.
Amazing, thank you. Okay, cool, thank you, Sam, that's now clear. There was also one last question somebody wrote when they registered to ask about scholarship. And I don't know if any of you have been in touch with NOMI, or you maybe know that there is the MFA scholarship, which is the Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They have a graduate scholarship, but you need to be quick because the deadline is this Friday to apply for it. I can pop the link in the chat afterwards, or I can send it out to everyone for you to see. Another question coming from Fred. Thank you, Fred. Can this program be done fully online?
We do not know yet because we do not know yet what is going to happen next year. We believe that in Israel we will be able to teach in person. So you should be ready for both the possibilities of coming to Israel. We do not have a final answer, but we will be very flexible with this, as flexible as we can.
Oh, thank you so much. And also just to everyone, we do keep updates on our website of all the programs, of the teaching methods and the format. So do please check there from time to time. Okay. Any last questions from anybody that wants to ask anything?
Thank you.
Okay. So I'd like to thank you all for coming, for taking your time out. I'd like to thank especially Professor Matania for that wonderful presentation and for giving up his time, and also to Nomi and Aaron, the current student. I hope everyone found it, I'm sure you found it useful and informative. And you can always reach out to Nomi with any questions on the program, on the admission, anything more related to TAU. By all means, you can reach out to me as well. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all coming to join our webinar today.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Bye.